So my biggest challenge before started working with you was I don't know how I want to show up, how the pages, the layout of the pages, which questions that I want to address first, who I want to talk to, who are my audience. So I was a little bit challenged with that area of my work. So as we're working through, building my page, promoting different programs that I have, you were leading me, you had questions for me, and you're leading me into really clarifying who my audience are so that I could have more targeted focus. So the challenge of not knowing who my target ideal audience is, it's really, I'm just kind of throwing dots everywhere. And it's very overwhelming and very confusing. So you're confused all the time. Like, okay, should I do this? Should I do that? So defining my goal, who I want to help, that really make things simple. That make things much simpler. And I'm talking to a specific person. I'm talking to a specific person, and I could relate to that person. So it may just make things much more simpler and easier for me. Yeah, that was easy because I went on your website, I looked at some of your work. That was the first attraction, was the graphic, right? You are amazing graphic designer. Everything that you did like popped. It resonated and popped, and it's like, oh wow, this is really beautiful. And that's the page that that's how I want to show up. That's how I want to show up. To show up like it's, and nowadays we're communicating through graphics or communicating through social media, so that's a must. You want to show up on social media the way, the color that represents you, the languages that represents you. So what attracted to me was also your website too. Like, you are the person that you are, pink and vibrant and lovely and just high energy. So that shows up. So that's really important to me, is to have your social media, or have your what do you call it? Your online presence represent who you are. So yeah, so that was what's attractive. Oh, the benefit was, I know you did a color palette for me. So that was very helpful for me to promote, or to promote, or to kind of create future either pages or my newsletters. I know exactly what color that I'm looking for. So it just simplified things, that I'm not spending time deciding just on the graphic interface, like the color, that how I want to show up. So yeah, saved a lot of time. Okay, so what would I say? I would say, and all the time that we worked together, even before we worked together, we talked a lot. So I really like that you are responsive, like very responsive. You answer all my questions, and even after the work is done, you're very responsive, and you ask for, there are things that I have requested, and you always responded warmly. So that's important, that someone, it's not like the work is done, that's it, I'm done. So I really love that about you. And so and if you're still like undecided, just think about how easy it would be if you know how you want to show up on these what did I call it? Not internet, on social media, on your I'm drawing a blank here. So on what did I call it? Your presence, how you want to show up online. So it makes things so much easier. So that's what I can say. Have have a have your online presence represent who you are is super super beneficial. Yeah, yeah. So I've always like the pages that you did for me, the nourishing detox, and that's like one of my most coherent. Really, it's like the whole page is very coherent. It's beautiful, and people are attracted. A lot of people ask me about it. Oh, where did you get that done? And nowadays you need a lot of different little things that adds to the page that catches people's attention. So I love how things are a little bit more interactive. They're more like the sliders comes in, so they're not just reading something. There's actually an element that they follow. So I love that.